Hey everybody, it's Chris Sylvie with HealthyConsumer.com. In the next couple minutes we're going to learn about what is good posture, what does it mean to you, and how can we improve our posture. Now as a physical therapist, I think that I see a lot of misconceptions about what good posture is. Many of these are passed down from parents and from other types of sports instructors or just about any type of influence can come from a variety of sources. And so I think the first thing that we need to dissect is what good posture is and what are the muscles that we need to use to create that, and also what are some of the limiting factors, whether it be structurally from your spine or from injuries or other things that cannot be addressed. But I think in posture there are a lot of things that we can address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple different examples of what good posture is, and I think before we do that we need to establish the foundation, and the foundation of posture is not made by just pulling our shoulders back. You know, you can see me, I still have a little bit of forward head posture left over from college, and I've been working on that quite a bit with Pilates and other forms of movement systems. The interesting thing though is that posture really doesn't start in the shoulders, it starts in the pelvis, as we'll see in a couple minutes here. So let's go ahead and let's sit down, and I'm going to show you a couple of things about what I was talking about. So right now I'm sitting in a stool, and if I take a side view, okay, and let's say you're at home sitting in a lazy boy chair or a chair that's not quite appropriate for you, and then you're back like this. So as you can see, my shoulders, no matter what type of position I try and put it in, if I'm back here, I'm not going to be able to move them very well. So if you're starting to rethink your posture, we need to start thinking about putting the pelvis in the right place before anything else. So look at a couple of my other videos. I made one on loosening up a stiff back and improving your pelvic mobility. That's a good place to start. Of course, some of the muscles surrounding the hip can have a big influence on that as well. So if I stand, and you only really need to see my lower half here, I tend to stand forward on my feet. So when I come back onto my hips, it puts me in a much better place. It balances out my thoracic spine, my mid-spine. But again, if I'm standing like this all day, then my butt never really works, and I can never really get into a good position for my posture. And so there's a lot of different concepts involved with this, and I think the most important thing is that you start with the pelvis, which is the foundation for the entire rest of your body. Really everything starts in the foot, but in a seated position you're going to get a lot more gains working on the mobility in your hips and your pelvis before you start to work your way up to your shoulders and try and correct the position of those. So some of the things that you can do, watch the other video that I just recently put out about those exercises on the low back. And then when you start to come up to a seated position, one thing that you can do for yourself is make sure that your hips are actually above your knees. So when your hips are above your knees, then your pelvis can move more smoothly on top of them. But if my knees are higher or at 90 degrees straight across, then my hip flexors are going to start to tighten more, and it's going to be more difficult for me to stretch out my hips, and then of course the psoas attaching onto the transverse processes of your lumbar spine, meaning it's going to have an influence on back pain as well. So posture is a very difficult thing because we have such a sedentary lifestyle overall, and I think that we need to be diligent in our movement, and we need to make sure that we're taking frequent breaks. A lot of new studies are saying as little as 30 minutes of consecutive sitting can start to take some of those postural muscles and tighten them up in that short of a time. So we need to take frequent stretch breaks, and we need to be up and moving around, even if it's just something as simple as going to the restroom and walking around the house a little bit. So I'm going to show you one other exercise before we go here. So now I'm standing, and I'm going to come up against this closet here. And notice the relationship between the elbow and then the scapula, your shoulder blade. So if my arms are way back here, then I'm going to have a rounded shoulder, and we don't want that because it causes a lot of shoulder problems and neck problems. But if we place ourselves up against the wall as close as we can, so our low back and our upper chest are along the wall, our neck might not make it back all the way, but we can start to lift the chest and then bring your arms in front of you like you're serving a tray of food. Someone's pulling you from the middle finger there, and then you're going to come back down. And this is a nice postural drill you can do throughout the day. Sometimes add in breath. Inhale, exhale, lift the chest, and it's like someone's lifting you from the back of the head, from your occiput as well. So everything starts to lift up. This is what I would do after you've worked on your pelvis quite a bit and started to get some mobility through there. Thank you very much for watching this video. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Please subscribe to us below and visit us at healthyconsumer.com and subscribe to our mailing list, and I will continue to provide you with all these helpful health tips, both from mechanical things like this and then also from the nutritional integrative standpoint, because that's absolutely what we're all about. Healthyconsumer.com is your source for personal health empowerment.